Now, we are going to start the press conference by Prime Minister Takaichi. Prime Minister will give opening remarks. Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to express my sympathies to those who have been affected by the series of natural disasters, including the earthquake off the east coast of Aomori. Today, extraordinary diet session ended. Since I became a Prime Minister, I have been working boldly with first priority on rising prices that are faced by people in Japan. And I was able to deliver the results, which is the promise with the people in Japan, in a way, with the passage of supplementary budget, and also for robust economy and potent diplomatic capability and security. I think we were able to set the direction with this supplementary budget. For the completion of supplementary budget, based on the broad coalition agreement with Japan Innovation Party, we have been flexible listening to proposals from the parties, and we have got support from DPFP and Komeito Party. In a short period of time, we have had active discussions. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to ruling parties and opposition parties. And since the start of the government, headquarters for Japan's growth strategy, headquarters for the strategy for the future of regions, population strategy headquarters, ministerial council on the acceptance of foreign nationals and realization of a society of well-ordered and harmonious coexistence, and also ministerial meeting to take measures against bear attacks. For the wide range of political challenges, we have been quick and we have been put in place certain system, and we are going to deliver the results in a quick manner. And in this current diet session, we were able to enact all of 11 bills, including 10 submitted during extraordinary diet session, and also one carried over from ordinary diet session. LDP, JIP, CDPJ, DPFP, Komeito Party, and Japan Communist Party. Based on six-party agreement, we were able to enact the law that abolish provisional tax for gasoline and diesel. And with the painful reform, we were able to pass the revised law, which stipulates that the ministers, including Prime Minister, does not receive the compensation exceeding the diet member compensation. Our important promise with JIP, which is the reduction of diet seats, unfortunately, it was not deliberated. We continue to aim at understanding and enactment in the ordinary diet session. On 19th, 2026 plan for tax system reform was put together, and also that is a plan, and on 26th, 2026 initial budget cabinet approval is planned. We will be focused on those policies. For supplementary budget, we have earmarked about 8.9 trillion yen for security for livelihood and rising prices. Reduction of gasoline, diesel, electricity and gas, and local tax grants for priority support, and also support for child-rearing families with rising prices. If you are a married couple with 2 children, per household, on standard level, 80,000 yen or more will be supported. For gasoline and diesel, without waiting for abolishment of the provisional tax, with increase of the subsidy, you are feeling the reduction of the burden, I feel. For businesses, in order to protect people's lives and livelihood, for loss-making medical institutions and nursing care facilities, without waiting for changing compensation, we have now about 1.4 trillion yen for medical and nursing care support package. That will be contributing to the robust business, and compensation revision is something we are going to focus. For SMEs, wage increase, we have taken bold measure with about 1 trillion yen. As early as possible, we will make efforts for implementation so that people can feel the effectiveness of these measures. So-called the barrier of 1.03 million yen with 2025 tax system law amendment with the tax return for this year, per taxpayer 20,000 yen to 40,000 yen income tax reduction will be achieved, and also basic tax reduction linked with the prices. The further increase should be addressed with the FY 2026 tax division, and we are making a final coordination among ruling and opposition parties. For free tuition, for implementation for next fiscal year, we are going to address that with the budget compilation for 2026. What is needed for Japan is not to make national capability deteriorate with the excess fiscal tightening. We have to strengthen our nation with the proactive public finances for the next generation with the growing economy, improvement of the earnings of businesses, and income increase with the wage increase. We are going to realize virtuous cycle of economy. Without increasing tax rate, tax revenue should be increased so that fiscal sustainability will be realized. However, responsible and productive public finances is strategic fiscal spending. It's not that we are going after the scale. It's not that we are just expanding the expenses. In the Cabinet Secretariat, we have established an office for special taxation measures and also review of the subsidies. Minister Katayama will spearhead the initiative so that we can avoid waste and we can aim at lean fiscal spending. For fiscal 2026, tax system revision and budget, for possible items, we are going to review that. Based on wide spending, we are going to do strategic fiscal spending. That's how we establish robust economy and increase growth rate so that the government debt versus GDP will be lowered, and we will secure fiscal sustainability so that we can get the trust in markets, home and abroad. And the issuance of the government bonds after the supplementary budget, combined with the initial budget and supplementary budget, is below last year. So we are paying attention to fiscal sustainability. And for 2026 budget, it is combined with the budget for 2025. We will make a focus for overall budget so that we can focus on important measures. We can get the trust from the markets. By building robust economy, we transform livelihood, and concerns for the future will be transformed to the hope. And the core of that is strategic investments that enhance resilience against potential crises.
The crisis management and investment is for economic security, food security, energy resource security, health and healthcare security, national territory resilience, and cyber securities. Regarding these various risks and societal challenges, private and public sectors will be cooperating and implement strategic investments ahead of the circumstances. If products and services and infrastructures are contributing to resolve the global challenges in and outside of Japan's market, then it will lead to Japan's further economic growth. In the supplementary budget, and in order to start early on necessary policies, and a heads-up budget of 6.4 trillion yen is included in the supplementary budget. In the tax system reform of FY 2026 as well, and a bold investment and promotion tax system will be created to further promote growth. If FY 2026 initial budget, there will be AI, robotics, and multi-purpose foundation model development and support, and strategic areas support in a more in-depth manner to promote seamlessly crisis management investment. In Takaichi cabinet, Japan strategy for growth strategy headquarters was created, identifying 17 strategic areas as well as 8 across the area type of challenges. In these 17 strategic areas, multi-year financial source frame based on a framework as well as a bold investment and promotion tax system and a defense procurement as well as a government procurement regulatory reform to create demands and expand demands through public and private investment roadmap that will be defined before next summer. And in order to higher predictability for businesses, and we will encourage strongly private sector investments. And toward a new technology-based nation, outer space, fusion energy growth are expected, and R&D areas will be promoted by an in-depth R&D taxation system. And also, we will strengthen the basic R&D in the FY 2026 initial budget. And J-pop, manga, anime, movies, games, those attractive Japanese contents will be generated by artist creators, and we will support them with an over 55 billion yen in the supplementary budget, and aiming for overseas sales of 20 trillion yen with a multi-year support and through public-private collaboration. I would like to have an opportunity to have a direct dialogue with the creators as well. And also, it is an urgent task to make supply chain resilience, including about the rare earths. And for the daily life of the people of Japan, as well as the production activities, and in order for them to be stable, with all of the government, the risks will be thoroughly identified, and then including the utilization of supplementary budget, we will promote swift measures without hesitation. And then given the international circumstances of today, to address an unstable supply situation, in order to strengthen the collaboration with the like-minded countries, we will accumulate dialogues in all opportunities. And also regarding the bear damages, we have identified and countermeasures packages for the greater peace of mind of the people of Japan. 12.9 billion supplementary budget is implementable in a retrospectively for the actions urgently implemented by local governments, and including the accelerated execution of the initial budget of FY 2026, and before hibernation and after hibernation, we will take action seamlessly. Following my appointment as Prime Minister, I have been fortunate to have valuable diplomatic opportunities. I attended 6 international conferences and held 22 meetings with 18 countries and organizations. I believe I was able to enhance Japan's presence in a rapidly changing international community. Regarding the Japan-US alliance, which is the core of our foreign and security policies, through President Trump's visit to Japan and our telephone conversations, we mutually confirmed our commitment to building a new golden age of Japan-US relationship, and we have built a relationship of trust where we can call each other anytime. We have a relationship with the United States in which we constantly work together on global issues from Indo-Pacific to Ukraine, the Middle East, and the Global South. And I would like to further develop this Japan-US relationship. China is an important neighboring country for Japan, and we need to build a constructive and stable relationship. On the other hand, there are security concerns, including economic security concerns between Japan and China. I would like to continue frank dialogues and comprehensively promote a mutually beneficial strategic relationship. My answer regarding the situation of existential crisis itself does not change the Japanese government's existing position, and I intend to persistently explain this point to China and to the international community at various levels. I have met with leaders from across East Asia and Southeast Asia and have been able to build leaders-level relationships of trust with them. With this as a starting point, I will work to advance a free and open Indo-Pacific, or FOIP. In particular, I agreed with the Republic of Korea's President Lee Jae-myung that although Japan and ROK have differing positions about various issues due to being neighboring countries, we will manage these differences under the leadership of the both countries' leaders and develop Japan-ROK relations in a stable, future-oriented manner. We are going to actively promote chateau diplomacy between Japan and ROK. Considering the dramatic changes in the security environment, it is necessary for Japan to do a fundamental strengthening of its defense capabilities through its own judgment. To that end, we will accelerate discussions aimed at revising the 3 strategic defense documents within next year. And a security-related spend of 1.1 trillion yen is included in the supplementary budget, which has passed along with the FY 2025 national security strategies. Target of GDP 2% level has been achieved, and then we are going to make sure that it will not burden further the household, along with the ruling party's tax system research council. In my youth, I was having an fortunate of studying under Matsushita Institute of Government and Management and with training by Mitsushita Konosuke. One of the 5 oaths of the Matsushita Institute of Politics and Economics is to follow through with your initial intention. This means that if you always hold on to your intention and work hard to do what you need to do, you will eventually achieve it. Even if you encounter difficulties, a path will always open up. The key to success is to keep going until you succeed. Takaichi cabinet has just started. I am determined to make the Japanese archipelago strong and prosperous, and to elevate Japan once again to the heights of the world. As a cabinet of determination and progress, I will never give up and will do my utmost for the nation and its people until I achieve this goal. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Now we take questions. First with the coordinating media outlet. Nishimura from Asahi, thank you. Let me ask about how you run the government for extraordinary diet session based on the coalition agreement with JIP, provisional tax for gasoline and subsidy, the diesel and electricity. It was agreed. However, for reduction of diet seats, there was not much progress. And a coalition government agreement, it says that it's aiming at the agreement within the ordinary diet session. How are you going to do that? And DPFP and Komeito party gave support. Do you plan to expand the coalition with these parties, or realignment of the parties, or stabilization of the government with the snap election? Do you plan to do that? In Takaichi administration, LDP and JIP, we have signed the agreement for coalition with a wide area of policies. We have made a progress. What is included in the agreement? Abolishment of the provisional tax for gasoline and subsidy for electricity and gas. Not only that, for hospital and nursing care facilities, we are taking measures so that they can make a turnaround. They are addressed with the supplementary budget, and also special tax measures, and also the Office for Special Tax Measures, and revisiting the subsidy, and also population strategy headquarters. These are accomplishment, and also foreign nationals acquiring real estate, and also Japanese seafuels, and also the mega solar regulation, and also the information related agency. So we are making real outcome within LDP. Based on those items to be discussed, we have organization to make a progress. After the due process in the party, we will set the decision. Because we are Democratic Party, this is what we are doing. And with the Japan Innovation Party, the basis will be the coalition with JIP. We work for state and the people in Japan. That resolution does not change. You asked about the expansion of coalition. There are other parties, so I refrain from making comments. That being said, since the start of the government, without political stabilization, there will be no robust economic growth, and there will be no potent diplomatic capability and security. And for tax system revision in 2026, and for initial budget, there are a number of items that we have to address in an immediate manner, so I have no time to really think about the resolution of the diet.
TV Asahi, another coordinating media outlet, please. Thank you, Chijiwa from TV Asahi. As you touched upon at the beginning, I would like to ask a question about the Japan-China relationship. So you are taking certain considerations in refraining yourself from visiting Yasukuni Shrine, and then you had a meeting with Chinese leaders. And currently, due to your answer about the contingency situation, there is a cooling of the relationship in terms of Japan-China relationship. Do you think that would you like to make some compromise in order to facilitate for a better China-Japan relationship, or are you going to continue to put your own viewpoint as an argument? And relating to this, Mr. Trump is focusing on Japan-China relationships, and the White House official is explaining President Trump's view, say that Mr. Trump is monitoring the China-Japan relationship and given its importance. What is your take on Mr. Trump's view about China Japan relationship? And then you said that you hope to meet in person with President Trump as soon as possible. What is the status of the adjustment for that meeting? Thank you very much. And so comprehensively promoting the mutually strategically beneficial relationship, and then also the promoting a stable, good relationship. That is my policy since the beginning of the Takaichi government. And then since there are concerns between China and Japan, it is very important to have communication. Regarding various upcoming dialogues with China, the door is already open. I never close the door. With this attitude, while continuing communication with China, and I will continue to address appropriately the national interest matters. You mentioned President Trump with United States, and already usually, including between myself and President Trump at various levels, and we are having very close communication. And then from U.S. government, and there has been a clear showing of the commitment, which doesn't shake in terms of the Japan-U.S. relationship. In terms of my meeting with President Trump, I would like to have that meeting as soon as possible. Of course, both of us have our own schedules, but I would like to proceed with an appropriate adjustment.
Now we will take questions from media outlets other than coordinating media outlet. Please raise your hand if you have questions. I'm from NHK, thank you. Let me ask about tax deduction with the benefit and the People's Council. And during the policy speech, you talked about tax deduction including benefit. For the tax and the social security integrated reform, there will be a People's Council to be established, including experts. But four-party talks suggested that the system should be designed without the establishment of the council. So direction is not clear. What is the direction for establishment of People's Council? And how do you make a progress about integrated reform of social security and tax? Benefit with the tax deduction, and that has been reported by the media. Tax and social security, with the total understanding of the overall picture, people who are suffering, especially middle income and low income people, those burden will be supported. So it's not only about the government and ruling parties. We need a People's Council involving opposition parties, benefits and the tax, and also how it is aligned with the social security and also understanding of income. So tax deduction with the benefit. So integrated reform of the tax and social security is type of the discussion we want to make progress. The People's Council and the specifics, that what is discussed, when and how. We would like to consult with those parties. In my personal feeling, we would like to establish the council so that wide range of discussions can take place. We would like to start the discussion as early as possible.
Miki, Ms. San from Nikkei newspaper, please. I am Miki from Nikkei newspaper. As you mentioned, in order to strengthen the defense capabilities, I'd like to ask about defense spending. So, within FY 2025, your target was to achieve 2% of the GDP, and you achieved that with a supplementary budget. And then in terms of the implementation of the tax increase to secure the financial source for that, then it has not been achieved yet. You said that you will avoid a further burden on the household, and in the 2026 FY, do you think that it is necessary to include the income tax increase in order to have a financial source for the defense budget? So the circumstances in terms of the security surrounding Japan is becoming harsher and harsh. So it is a must to strengthen our defense capabilities. In order to do that, we need to consider to secure a stable financial source for the defense budget. And in terms of measures to implement, and then for the income tax in 2023 FI, 1% of the additional tax introduction was included, and then also the special tax for the recovery and restoration period for that was extended. However, the fundamental scheme and mechanism remain unchanged. So for the expansion of the defense budget and how to secure the financial resources is under discussion with the ruling party and the opposition party, as well as in the tax system research council. So I would like to consider appropriately based on the conclusions of those discussions.
Torinari from Kyoto, thank you. Let me ask about the donation from companies and organizations. During this extraordinary diet session, no conclusion was made among ruling and opposition parties. For close to 1 year, there has been a discussion among opposition parties and ruling parties, but there is still division, LDP and JIP, for the lower house diet seat reduction. You are aiming at the enactment, the next ordinary session, for the bill of the donations from organizations and companies. Without a conclusion, no deliberation can be started. So I want to ask, for those donations from companies and organizations, in what way do you want to reach the conclusion? So the contribution from businesses and organizations for this diet session, enhancement of the transparency, that is included in a bill submitted by LDP with the JIP for the consideration of funding a meeting body with the experts. That is included in a bill submitted. For the contribution from businesses and organizations, there have been some progress. Unfortunately, this was not passed within this diet session, but based on different opinions and views, we will be sincere in deepening discussions so that a political fund will be trusted by people in Japan. I think that is important. about the bill to reduce the number of diet seats and how it's related. I think I talked about it a little bit. For the lower house, the Speaker of the House, under the Speaker of the House, there is a council for election system for the lower house. So there are the discussions for each group. So the core of the democracy is related with the contributions from the organizations and the number of diet seats. They are very important. So those initiatives should be progressed in consultation with different groups.
Next, Yokota-san from CBC. Yokochi from CBC TV. Regarding a supplementary budget, for the what is I would like to ask a question about your view about the science and technology promotion. You talked about the investment for crisis management, and in the comprehensive and economic policies, in addition to that, AI and quantum and then also included, and application in those areas is important. But it is said that more importantly, basic research is very important. And Professor Sakaguchi, Professor Kitagawa, the Nobel Prize awardee of this year, also appealing for the strengthening of the support for basic research, including the young researchers support. So going forward, what is your thinking about the support for the basic research? Thank you. I think it is a very important matter. For example, the Professor Sakaguchi, who received the Nobel Prize for Biology, and then Professor Kitaguchi, who received a Chemical Nobel Prize. I would like to congratulate on them. So the foundational strength is in the basic capabilities, and then also the talents which are capable of creating innovation. And the Takaichi government, in order to secure the excellent level of technology and science, it is extremely important to build an environment appropriate for the basic researches. And in terms of the supplementary budget, maintaining national and academia and the universities and as a foundation, and also the international support for young researchers and creative and international research is included. And then the innovation basic plan, which will start from next fiscal year, in that plan, the goal is to rebuild Japan's science and technology. So the significant we will consider the possible significant increase for the spending to support basic research. And then in continuing, following this supplementary budget in the FY 2026 initial budget, we would like to increase significantly the support for basic researches.
We take the last two questions. This is Yokobori from TV Tokyo. Let me ask about Japan-China relation. So Chinese government is encouraging Chinese people to refrain from coming to Japan. It's been about 1 month. Including tourism, there are some concerns about the economy. And how does the government address this situation? Do you have any specific measures you are planning to do? And you said that you have doors open with China, but there are concerns about the situation deteriorating. In order to overcome the situation, a meeting with President Xi, do you think it is needed? So about the reaction from China, we are well aware of that. Because we have challenges with China, it is important to make communications, including at the leaders level, at the various levels between Japan and China, having a lot of dialogues. Japan is open to that. And a series of measures taken by China and impact, including that, we monitor the situation and we handle the matters appropriately. You mentioned tourism, and this end of the year, a number of people are traveling in Japan. Japanese people are traveling. Japan is important, and we have people from diverse countries, and we will be focused on the promotion to do that.
Hiramatsu-san from Nippon TV, this is the last question. Thank you very much, and Hiramoto from Nippon TV. It's been about 2 months and since the start of the Takaichi government, I believe. And then, what is your own evaluation of the government since the beginning? So Takaichi color, where do you think that you were able to have it reflected successfully, appropriately? So what are the positive aspects? And then on the other hand, what are the things that you wished to do but were not able to do? So where are the areas you were not able to exercise and deliver your own color? So on the 21st of October, I took office as a prime minister, so it's been less than 2 months yet. But since the beginning of Takaichi government, first of all, the price increase, which is the challenge facing all of the people of Japan, I have been prioritizing it. So I was able to to a certain level, keeping that commitment to ease the burden on the households and the people. So what is that Takaichi color? I cannot say comment on, explain it or define it clearly, but the countermeasures against price increase has been the top priority, and there is a lot yet to be done. And the priority is to strengthen thoroughly the capabilities of the country. So the financial, defense, science, technologies, and talents, as mentioned earlier, and economic. So thoroughly, I will be pursuing really thoroughly and the strong economic growth. And then with the supplementary budget which has just passed, and we were able to put forward a certain direction toward that and strong economic growth, which I wish to make and accelerate further. In any case, it's been less than 2 months. Takaichi government has just got started, and then we are going to gear up further going forward, and so that the LDP proposed policies and also the coalition proposed policies with Japan innovation parties, and I am going to make them happen as much as possible. I feel that I was able to proceed so far with a good speed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. With this, we would like to close the press conference. Those who are raising hand, please send your questions in writing. Within today, we will respond to your questions later on in writing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.